$1,993. That's what June cost me on top of everything I normally spend. A baby, a table I didn't need but wanted anyway, my daughter's birthday party, an electric bill that doubled, and a visa run to Manila I still owe. Here's every line, and this is including the one that nobody ever tells you about. If you're on a 13A or an SRRV, I need to include that. I did a video a while back, $873 a month breakdown, real numbers, honest categories, no nonsense. People liked it because it was real. But nobody tells you about the month life just shows up and hands you a bill. So let's go through that, shall we? And be sure to slap a like on the video. Now, we had a baby in June. My wife gave birth, and the total bill at the birthing center, private, not public, 43,000 pesos. That's right, 43,000 pesos. And this is where it gets really Philippines because I asked the doctor for a discount. I'm not above that, no. Try that at Cedars-Sinai. She said yes and knocked immediately 3,000 pesos off the bill. So what did I do with the 3,000? I gave 1,000 pesos to each of her 2 kids who are in college and helped us through the whole thing. Last 1,000 I gave to the caretaker, the person who quietly kind of made everything run and never asked for a thing. That's just the right move here. And the people who make your life work deserve to know you see them. Net cost after the discount, after taking care of the people who took care of us, about $755. In the States, even with an employer insurance, that's about $2,700 to $3,000, easy. And that's without difficulties or a cesarean. This month, I also bought a table. Before you judge me, handmade, solid wood, built by a local craftsman. Really nice. I love it. It's beautiful. 30,000 pesos. That's $527. So, of course, that added to the damage that the June bill was doing. But hey, I wanted it, so I bought it. I didn't need it, I wanted it. And man, it feels great to have your arms up here, eating at a nice table, with the family around. The little things in life. But again, it's on the list. I wanted it. I own that. Here's the deal. You're going to have wants too, so make sure that you budget for them. Don't pretend you're not going to have wants. You will. You'll have wants. My daughter turned 2. We kept it simple, family, some food, nothing crazy. Even simple costs money here, 4,000 pesos for that. That's about $70. I did go a little crazy with the cake. I didn't use one of these chain cake places around here. I actually ordered it from a specific restaurant that I go to, and they did a fabulous job. 3-tiered, pink, flowers. It said, to the boss, happy birthday to the boss. Because honestly, my daughter thinks she is the boss of the household. Sure, $70 is a small number, but you still got to put it on the ledger. All right, this one I need to talk about because it kind of catches everybody off guard at times. Almost every expat will learn this their first summer here. My bill came in at 6,500 pesos. That's $114, nearly double what I'd normally expect. But I also run AC all the time, and I've got laptops and lights and computers and audio equipment and TVs and stuff in here. Because, June heat is serious. And the AC runs longer than you plan for. I run my AC 24/7. Thing is, electric here is not cheap and it's not stable. When the power goes out, they actually charge you to turn it back on. Seems that way anyway. So if you're budgeting for a flat number for electricity every month, you're gonna get caught. Build yourself a range and definitely budget in for a hot high season buffer. This one hasn't even hit yet, but it's June that I've already paid some in advance. So I'm leaving for Manila on Sunday to go up and do a visa run. I'm on a 13A. I got to get to Manila to update my resident card. That's airfare from, that's a bus trip from Catbalogan to Tacloban, a hotel night over there, jumping on a plane early in the morning from Tacloban and flying to Manila, and there's hotels and food. So that's going to ring me out. I'm budgeting at about 30,000 pesos for that trip altogether. That's another $527. That's just the real cost of living here that nobody puts in a budget video. It depends on the visa that you have. If you're doing, 13A, you got to re-up every 5 years. You got to check in every year. The tourist visa, you got every 2 months. So you got to make sure that you plan for the stuff. So if you add it all up, it's $755 for the berth, $527 for the table, $70 for the birthday, $114 for the electric bill, and $527 for Manila. Plus. That's $1,993 on top of everything I normally spend. Oh, by the way, this came up on the comments in the $873 video that I did, and it's a fair hit. That budget didn't include health insurance, so we're going to throw that on the table as well. I carry private health insurance, and it runs like $197 to $225. That's a real number, and it belongs in any honest retirement budget for someone living here. But here's something that most people don't know, and this is specifically for those of you on the SRRV. You can supplement your private coverage with PhilHealth, which is the national health insurance program here. That's 17,000 pesos a year, which is about 270 at today's rate. You can enroll under the informal economy member category. That just gives you access to the Philippine government health system. It just stacks on top of whatever private policy that you're carrying. It's good for like every other day stuff, nothing really, really heavy duty. But once again, hey, I'm not a doctor or an insurance advisor, so do your own homework, but it's available, it's legal, it's inexpensive, and most expats either don't know about it or assume it doesn't apply to them, but it does. So the full honest picture, the part that the $873 video was missing, add $197 to $225 for private insurance, plus the PhilHealth supplement that runs me about $7 a month. Just add it to whatever your base number is. For me, that's just another chunk of change that wasn't in the original breakdown. Here's what I want you to hear clearly, though. The Philippines is still one of the most inexpensive places in the world to retire. June was an expensive month. June was also the month that I had a baby, that I also bought a table. I had a birthday. I've got to make a visa run to Manila. The overage with electricity. Pa-ching! It's not a normal month, but it's a real month, and real months happen. The guys that crash here are never the guys that really overpay for rent or groceries, anything like that. They're the ones that don't have a buffer for when life shows up, and life always manages to show up. Build a buffer. Budget a real number for insurance. Know your electricity spikes in the summer. And a lot of the time it seems like every day is summer. Know that you're going to have a visa run every once in a while. If you're on a 2-month tourist visa, that's every couple of months. Plus you got to pay for an ACR card after that. And know when your kid turns 2, you're going to want to celebrate it. Can't let that slide. She is the boss again. None of that breaks the retirement. All it does is needs to be in the plan. Again, also make sure in your plan is to slap a like on this video. I appreciate the support. Be excellent to one another. And remember, this is never about the Philippines. It's how you show up when you get here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.